Alright, so this guy dies, and he finds himself in heaven. He wakes up kind of on a street corner, alleyway, nasty place. He looks around, can't really figure out what's going on. And finally, this homeless looking guy comes over. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man? Oh, what's where am I, man? What's going on here? There was a bus, and now the guy said, I no, I understand confusion. You've died. You're in heaven. This is the outer ring. It's pretty nasty, but let me. Oh, suddenly there is a ringing, like an alarm, claxons. Guy looks around confused. The other guy says, "Oh, it's time for lunch. Come on, let's go." Takes him to this kind of ratty looking nasty warehouse. Just three lines of people just kind of filling the place and streaming out. The guy points to the first line and says, "Oh, here's your bread line. It's moldy biscuits, and there's some just nasty, gross bread stuff. I mean, it used to be bread, probably still is." And he points to the second line. Second line, it's this really just it maybe used to be shoe leather. It's hard to tell. It's really just it's technically meat. That's what the line is. And then the third line is just a fountain of it's like dingy, grayish, unpleasant water, almost dishwatery. Come on. The guy says, "All right, well, this is every day. They change the meats. In 6 months, it'll be ham instead of this beef. That was beef. It's beef. So, at any rate, you know." So the first dude just finally takes all this in, and he's kind of just horrified because this is the afterlife. Second guy said, "Well, let's get out of there." This isn't the end. This is just his first outer ring. There are more inner rings. If you go to the guards at the gates, they'll tell you. They'll give you. They'll open the gates. They'll let you through for $500, and you just gotta find a way to get it. Scrimp and save up. So the guy does, and it takes him 500 years. He manages to make $1 a year, and get out of the damn Cheez-Its. So after a year, finally he's got all the money, and he gets his way through the gates, and he enters the second ring, and first person he meets is his homeless friend. He's just very nearby, almost as soon as he comes through. So, "Oh man, I've been waiting for you. I knew you'd make it. You just seem so interested in getting away early on that I knew you were going to make it. Come on, let me show you where we're going to go." He takes him through the streets. He shows him a few nicer places where he's going to be able to sleep. And finally, there's a ringing, a nicer bell, almost clockwork, clock bells, clock tower. So the bells ring, and he takes him to a nice open cafeteria. It's not great, but it's definitely an improvement over the warehouse. And once again, there are the three lines. And the first line is just a simple bread. There's sticks of butter to the side. The second line is the meat again. This one is looks like it's probably roast. And then the third line is a clear, simple water. And the guy says, they change this out every so often. Every 2 to 3 months, it's a new kind of meat. They change the breads. Sometimes it's biscuits, sometimes it's buns, sometimes it's rolls. Um, but there's another ring. Um, they want $1,000 this time to get through. Uh, but you'll make it eventually, I'm sure. I've been saving for 100 years already. I'm gonna do it. So the guy starts and he does his saving and he scrimps and does whatever he can to get whatever he can from whoever he can. And after another 500 years, he's managed to make his money and goes to the gates and pays to get through. Once again, his homeless friend is there, and he doesn't look like his homeless friend anymore. He's got a pretty well tailored suit and a nice overcoat. And not that he needs it, the weather's pretty nice, but it's also pretty nice if you've got one on. Any rate, so he shows him around again, and then finally trumpets sound, and it's simple call to dinner. And he takes him to a nice restaurant. This is an improvement over the cafeteria. Not super fancy, but nice. And again, there are the 3 lines. In the first line, there is this just immaculate buns and just beautiful rolls. The bread is very nice. It's the tastiest, freshest. The steam is rising from all the baskets. It's just so. And then the second line leads to steaks. Just beautiful, dripping, perfect. Any rarity, any doneness you like. Just say the word and here you go. And it's hot, it's fresh, and it's perfect. And then the third line is this beautiful, just clear ale. Not super clear, ale. But it's clearly the top of the line. Just the best the earthly could provide. And again, it says, we can get through again. They want $100,000 this time. But they do it. He does it. 10,000 years go by, and he's managed to make $10 a year. So big improvement over his early days. But 10,000 years go by, and he finally gets through to the center ring, the epitome of heaven. And his friend meets him again, and this time he's in golden, glowing robes, just the thread of the gods. He said, again, choruses of angels sing, and he says, "You've gotten here just in time for lunch. I knew you would make it." And they walk to just this beautiful open park, and there's a line that leads up to the bread, and it is just loaves of treasury, golden, the food of the gods. Just amazing. And they go over to the second line, and it's unicorn and dragon steaks and just chimera roast. It's so amazing. And then finally turns and he stops and he just stares around and he turns to his friend and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. There doesn't seem to be a punchline."